Okay, so you should be able to hear me, but I won't be hearing you. So if you have a question about anything, just type it in the chat box and I can stop and answer that question for you. Let me get my chat up so that I can see it. Okay, for some reason my chat's not working like it's supposed to. So I'll just stop every so often and ask if you have any questions, okay? All right. So this is going to be our new classroom for a little while, and I want to go through just a few things to kind of help you to be a little more familiar with it, so that you'll feel like you know what's going on, and you won't be quite so freaked out about online learning. Okay, so let's just get started and talk a little bit about what you can expect. So just like any other classroom, this is going to we're going to have some rules, and the rules are going to help us just to keep from being distracted. They're going to allow us to be able to learn, so that way we're not quite so overwhelmed. Those of you who came into the room, you'll notice that when you have 15, 20 people all in the room at one time talking and videos going, it becomes extremely overwhelming. So just a couple of things. I'm going to keep microphones muted. But if you do have a question, you will be able to unmute your microphone so that you can ask a question. So like right now, everyone is unmuted, and I'm going to click mute all. And if you need to ask a question, you just click your unmute button, and then you can ask a question, okay? You will see that you have a raise your hand option. You have to just kind of look for it. It may be under that more. So you can always raise your hand and I can call on you if I need to. And then the chat box, I have no problem with you talking in the chat box when we first get in the classroom. But once class starts, I just ask for you to keep those questions about the class, the lesson, or something educational. Okay, so let's see what's next. So we will use Zoom for just a few little sessions. When we introduce new math concepts that I think you need a little extra help with, we'll have a Zoom session. So I know that I've got one scheduled coming up on molecular and empirical formulas, because that's something new that I think you need to see me work a couple of problems. Anytime we have a multi-step process that we're learning, we'll have a Zoom session. And if it's something a little more difficult or I'm getting a lot of questions about it, I'll plan to do a Zoom session. Zoom sessions will not last very long. They'll probably be anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes. And remember, you can take them on the go on your phone. So if you are somewhere and you need to, tune into a Zoom session, you can just stop and listen real quick. You can even phone in and listen to the Zoom session. Zoom will not be used to go through everything. We won't go through every single problem like we did before. Instead, it'll be for new material, and I will give you answers to problems if you're concerned if you're doing them correctly, but we'll do that after assignments are due, okay? And we will do a Zoom session before we have our first test. All right, so let me unmute everybody. Does anyone have any questions right now?
When will be the test?
It's going to be at the end of next week, so around April the 3rd.
Okay.
And we'll talk a little bit more about how we're going to do that later, okay?
I have a question on the packet.
Yep.
On page 6, it says on every single question, percent by mass. What does that mean?
Same thing as percent composition.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you want us to like turn the work in? Do you want us to like take a picture of it, take a picture of our work and send it in?
Hang on just a second. I'm going to cover that in just a minute, okay?
Okay.
All right. Is everybody good? Let me go on and then I'll ask questions at the end because I'll probably answer some of these for you, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute y'all and go on to the next thing. Remember, if you have a question, just type it in the chat box. Okay. All right, so here we go. So schedule conflict and tech issues. So I already heard Square Root of Roten say that, you know, they have to work. And I understand that. I know Brady Cooksey texted me last night and said, I've got to work. And I get that. That's fine. When you have to work or you have something going on where you can't be here for a meeting, or you try to log in and for some reason maybe your bandwidth's not strong enough or you just can't get on, I will be recording these sessions. And so sessions are going to go onto our Google Classroom so that you'll have the opportunity to tune in later on and you can watch them at your own leisure. The problem with that is, though, if you're not in a live session, that means that you can't ask questions. So as you're watching it, if you have a question, you need to jot it down so that later on you can email me with those questions and I can help you. So submitting assignments. I know that a lot of you have had questions about that, and I know several teachers have had questions about that. I am going to upload a video that I made last night to kind of help some of the teachers tell their students what to do, and I think it'll help some of you. So I do want all of your assignments to come through Google Classroom, and I know that some of y'all have had trouble getting some stuff to upload to Google Classroom, so I'm going to talk about how to troubleshoot that, okay? So one thing that you may need to do, you may need to finish up all of your assignments, and then when you get to really good Wi-Fi, upload everything at one time, okay? I know that Mr. Hallmark sent an email out that he's going to open the Wi-Fi up to students, but you'll have to go into the parking lot in the front of the school, and there will be a time period where the Wi-Fi will be open for you, and they fixed it so that they'll have good strong Wi-Fi out there in that front parking lot. So it may be that you have to do all of your work, get it all loaded onto your phone or whatever, then run up to the school one day, stop at the parking lot, upload everything, okay? Another thing is you may need to download the Google Tools. If you're using your phone as your main resource for completing your assignments, you really need to download the Google Tools, which I'll show you in the next slide, because that may be some of the problem. If for some reason you can't get it into the Google Classroom, you need to email me at my school email address so that I can help you, okay? We'll see if we can't fix the problem, because I would love for everything to go into Google Classroom because it's easier for me to keep up with and I can immediately sync it to your grades. If for some reason we can't get into the Google Classroom, from now on, we will email assignments to me. We're not going to do any more assignments through Remind. I need them to come to my email so that I can get them really big and I can look at them and I can save them into a folder. So here are the Google tools that I was talking about. These don't take up much room on your phone. They download really quickly and everything is free. If you don't have the apps for these, I suggest you get the actual Gmail app, the Google Classroom app, a Google Docs app, and a Google Slide app. Those 4 apps will allow you to open up anything in any of your Google Classrooms that your teachers are going to put in there. And when you log into your Google apps for the first time, log in with your school email address, and then that's going to link all of those accounts together, and it makes everything so much easier. You can also do Google Drive. It's a free app, and then everything's right there on your phone, okay? Okay, so neatness, and this is for y'all. I'm having to get you, because I need to see your work, you're having to write all of your work out on notebook paper and send me pictures, okay? And that's understandable, that's cool. That's how I want you to do everything, but I need you to be very, very, very neat. Spread out your work, write big, write in dark, ink or a lead so that I can see it really well, because it's hard enough to read it face to face. Imagine me having to read it on a computer screen. And make sure you circle your answers so that I can see them really easily, so that I don't take off points when I don't need to. Now look, I do want to point out, I know that online learning can take over your life. I've been getting text messages literally all night from teachers needing help getting set up. And it will consume you if you're not careful. I'm going to be setting up some office hours just to make things a little bit easier on me, my family, and for you to get a hold of me. On Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., I will be in front of my computer on my phone available for those 8 hours. So if you have a question, those 8 hours, I'm sitting there waiting for you. Any other time, shoot me a text or an email, but it may take me a little longer to get back with you because I won't be sitting right at my computer. All right. Now, I know that this is a lot of information. I know that it is overwhelming, but there's some good things that I wanted to point out. Number one, there's some positives. On the bright side, you're going to be going to college, and you're going to take a lot of your classes online. And so this is going to help you. I see you, Dragon. This is going to help you get ready for college. Just, go ahead and prepare yourself. I had to take online classes. Mr. Fort Mary's had to take online classes. So you're going to be ready. Those of you who are not going straight to college, or if you're planning on having a career after college, you're going to have to do this stuff in your career. I have to take video conferences. I had one yesterday. And so you're going to be prepared for that. And then all of this stuff that you're learning, you can add this to your resume. You are now savvy in online learning, video conferencing, Google tools, and you can add all of that to your resume. Now, I know this is not the best way to learn. I get that, but we're going to figure it out. I miss seeing y'all every day, but together we're going to get through this and make sure you get this credit. And then there's Mr. Fort Mary. All right, so let's just take a second, and if you have any questions, this would be a good time to ask them. Anybody?
So you said like when we're submitting our work and stuff, you said take pictures of it and send it to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Just because I need to see your work. If it was like
Okay.
credit biology, or if it was A&P, I would have you type everything out on a Google Doc and submit it. But since you're having to show me all that work, it's almost impossible to do that on the computer. So I'm just going to let you write it out on a piece of paper. Make sure you're really, really, really neat. And for those of you who write really small, you need to make them bigger, okay? Gavin, you need to write neater, okay? And if you write light, don't use a pencil, use a pen. As much as I hate pens in math, it just makes it easier because it's hard for me to read all those little pictures.
Okay,
So I have another question.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, I was having trouble loading the picture yesterday. It wouldn't just go through my phone, and I probably will not be able to go to the school because my parents still have to work and stuff.
Okay.
So, and like even now my dad's working and stuff like that. So how am I going to deal with that?
Get everything on your pictures, and then after we get you on the pictures, then if we can't get them online, we'll go from there. Okay. Undoubtedly, sometime between now and April 3rd, you can get somewhere where you have a little bit better connection. So that's what I've been telling everybody. Get your work done, hold on to your work, and then when you do get a good connection, go upload everything at one time.
Okay.
Okay? Does anybody else have a question?
I'll try.
I do.
What's that?
Okay, so I took pictures and I sent it to you, but sometimes the picture doesn't show up. That like link doesn't show up. So I just wanted to make sure that my work got turned in.
I'm going to start grading work today. So when I start pulling it up, I'll zoom in, and if I can't see it, I'll shoot you a message and say, hey, can you take me a little bit better picture of this? But for the most part, I've been clicking on them, making sure stuff's coming through. And for the most part, I can see everything.
Okay, good.
Okay. Anybody else?
So is it okay, like as a backup plan, that if I'm not able to send it through Google Classroom or anything, can I just like try to email it to you?
Yeah, if we can't get it in Google Classroom, if we can't get in Google Classroom, our last resort will be to email it.
Or text me took on Google Classroom?
I'm working on that. I've got my assessments for my other classes all planned out, but y'all's I'm still working on.
Okay.
So as soon as I
Take your
figure out
time.
how we're gonna do it,
Take your
I'll let you
time.
know.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah,
Take
we're
as
gonna
much time
take.
as you need.
I appreciate
Shut
that,
up,
Dragon.
Dragon.
We are gonna take the test. I'm gonna have it open April 2nd and 3rd. My plan is that next week I'll have my plan of attack on test, and I can tell you exactly how we're gonna do it. So like AMP is having to call me, and we're doing it over the phone. So they're gonna have a complete oral assessment. And dual credit biology is taking theirs in the Google Classroom, but chemistry is kind of special. So I'm going to see how we can do that. All right. Does anyone have any questions? All right. Well, is that a cat?
Who are you talking to?
Is that Clarabeth? Do you have a?
It's a dog.
Oh, you have a. Okay. Oh, okay.
Did you call my what?
Samson.
Samson. Oh, how cute.
He's a rat.
Oh,
Adorable.
oh.
He's adorable.
He's adorable.
Go in there.
Well,
I have one more question.
yes.
I'm confused about on your Google Classroom, you put the outline and it says day 1, day 2, day 3. I don't know what days are which. What
You
day
get
are
to choose. If you want to do days 1 through 5 at the same time, you go right on ahead. I didn't put dates because I don't want y'all to have to stick to a specific schedule. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So you just
okay.
need to make sure that everything is done and turned in by April 3rd. Now I'm going to tell you, some of y'all are procrastinators, Justin, and you're going to want to wait until the last minute to get it done. You don't need to do that because you might have tech problems or something else may happen. And so we want to make sure we do stuff as we can. So I was telling y'all at the beginning, my kids are having a specific time to do schoolwork. And so we're getting up in the morning, they're doing schoolwork for the first 2 or 3 hours during the day. And that way they're not getting behind because it's really hard to get caught up, okay? And when we finally get to go back to school, we're going to hit the ground running, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so is everybody good?
And don't turn in anything that doesn't say that's graded.
Right. If it doesn't say graded, I don't want it.
Okay.
All right.
I needed to know that because I was confused.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, this has been a great session, and we'll have another one coming up. I'll send out the invite for you, so that way you'll know and you can start planning, okay?
All
All right. Well, everyone have a good day. Stay well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Hasta luego.